You ready? Okay. How are you doing, people? This is Vinnie Brown, one-third of the Grammy Award-winning legendary hip-hop group, Naughty by Nature. And I'm here with futurist, Mr. Mike Johns from Digital Mind State. He's the owner and founder of Digital Mind State. And today we're talking about AI and the future of AI, the pros, the cons. Does it put people out of business, content creators, or is it a tool to enhance what's going on in the future? So I welcome everyone and welcome you, Mr. Mike Johns. How you doing, brother?
Thanks for having me, man. All is well, all is well. I think this is exciting times as we're going to break down the whole hype around AI.
Yes. So my first question is, there's a lot of hype around AI, right?
Mhm.
I would like for you to explain to me a little about AI and how can it help me as a small business owner, an entrepreneur, independent musician? How can this AI help or hurt me?
Perfect. That's a good question. Well, let's start off with this. AI, in simple terms, is really the science of making a machine think like a human. Let me say that again. It's really the science of making a machine think like a human. And this is when we get into technical terms like machine learning, deep learning, and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, how can I make this machine do a task for me? Let's think of it that way as a tool. I want this AI, this robot, this machine to do a task and think like a human. In simple terms, that's what AI is. And so now when we look at the hype of why AI has really taken on mass consumption, AI has always been around. I think with the introduction of Chat GPT and all that, that has really become the low hanging fruit that people, or as I call them, the commoneers, are now starting to see AI in a whole different light as to, you mean I could use this and it can create a business plan for me? I could use this and it could help me in school. I could use this and it could do my financial reporting. That's what's become the big disruptor and the hype around AI.
Well, as you said, AI, the challenge or the goal and mission of AI is to get this technology to think like humans. And with that being said, of course, there's a lot of humans who are intimidated by that simple fact. So the
Yeah.
real paranoia out there is, will AI replace my job? Will they take my job? Or can I use AI as a tool to enhance my job and really actually secure my job in the future?
It's another good question. And so I like to say that AI and robots will not take your jobs. They're only going to usher in new jobs. And that's a very important thing to know. I like to say, uh, be extraordinary or ordinary. Jobs today, you're in an ordinary fashion. With the usage of AI, that makes you extraordinary. And that's where we have to be for the commoners, especially the Black and Brown community. He or she that uses AI become extraordinary. He or she that does not use AI into their marketing mix remains ordinary. And as the progression of things are going, it's all about being the extraordinary person. It's a very important thing to know. Robots will not take your jobs. They're going to usher in new jobs. What are those new jobs? You want to be, especially for the Black and Brown, you want to be ahead of the curve and usher in the new jobs. How do I maintain the AI? Maintenance of the AI is already a new job, right? The AI can actually break down. So who's that person that maintains, monitors the robots, monitors the AI applications that are being used? There's a new job right there.
Right. Well, and in particular, in my business and industry, Naughty by Nature has been around for 30 plus years. And, with hip hop, it's the same thing with hip hop. We came out initially in 1991, and a lot of people, or some people, they don't like some of today's hip hop. And I beg to differ. I say, you know what? I don't want hip hop music sounding the way it did in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. So I embrace the new music, I embrace the new artists, and I embrace the new technology. I remember in 94, when I opened my retail store, there was a website. So I was one of the first artists to invest in naughtybynature.com, naughtygear.com. And although you had to print out an order form in order to order goods from our retail store, it was an extra tool because prior to that, we had an order form with our merchandise inside every cassette and CD. So the challenge was, in order to have that, the order form, you actually had to buy or purchase the cassette or the CD. With a website, you didn't necessarily need to purchase the music. So now the website enabled you to just type on, go out, print out your order form, fill out what you want, send a check or money order, and we can fulfill the order. So I look at social media, I look at websites, I look at e-commerce and AI as extended tools to help enhance your business. So I'm not necessarily intimidated by it. I'm actually, happy these tools are here. However, now we're getting to the age where everyone is aware of this SAG-AFTRA strike in Hollywood. And there are definitely pros and cons with that, where, Hollywood wants to pay someone one time for their name and likeness, scan them, and then use their likeness and imagery in perpetuity without proper compensation. So with that being said, is AI changing Hollywood and the music industry?
Big time. I like, because, you're 30 years in with one of the biggest groups in hip hop, Naughty by Nature. I'd look at AI and make a comparison with, you remember when P. Diddy was doing sampling, and when sampling hit hip hop, that was major disruption, because now this sample was the whole 7 member band. So normally when you would go into a studio, you needed the whole 7 band members to produce this soundtrack. Now this sample, we'll just take a clip of that and make a new beat. Look at how that just revolutionized music. And you're at the forefront of that. That was technology. Sampling is a form of technology. Now when you go forward with that and you look at hip hop with drum machines, all the different beat making machines that it used, that reduced the human power, right? Again, if you look at Earth, Wind, and Fire, Bob Marley, all the greats from the old era, those were bands that had members. Now everything is right there on your drum machine. You name the drum machine, Roland, whatever. That's all consolidated in that machine. Now you add another layer called AI. Here's the game changer. And this is what I like to say, where creativity is being challenged and the consumer is being challenged, because now AI can produce the sound. AI is being used in your discovery of the music that you're listening to. AI is being used for the marketing and merch application of the music. So AI is integrated in every aspect of the process, all for the end game of getting the right music to the right customer at the right time and being able to monetize that experience. So I think I think from the record industry standpoint, they realize that it's a tool that allows for the game to be more efficient than ever before. From a record industry standpoint, from a Hollywood standpoint, MGM, Fox Theater, from that standpoint, it allows them to be most efficient. How to save money, how to make money. Hell, do we even need the actor? Do we even need the rapper, right? Because now AI ultimately will take us there. But I do feel that at the same time, there needs to be regulations. One of the big things that I say with AI is any company that is invested in AI should be treated like opening up a nuclear facility plant. There has to be regulations. Not everybody can open up a regular airport. a nuclear plant. Everybody can do that, right? There has to be regulations in place. And I think the same thing has to be in place for AI, just so that we keep a grip on things. But to your point, is AI disrupting Hollywood? Big time. You're seeing that with SAG. You're seeing that, and that's the powers that be, right? They're using it like, oh shoot, we could use this to our advantage. It's an interesting time. I would turn it over to you to say, with hip hop and the things, hip hop has always been at the forefront of everything. And so I almost question the fact, if hip hop could figure it out, maybe then America and the United Nations could figure it out.
Right.
So
Well,
that's crazy, right? It's like literally the
well,
question of creativity, the consumer, AI. Ice Cube has given his viewpoints. He's not standing for it, right? Other people, there's so many different viewpoints, but if people could actually look to hip hop as to how to get it right. So I turn it over to you, Vinny.
Well, I'll toss back to, what you mentioned prior in the sampling, when Diddy and all of us was sampling, that sample machine and those drum machines, they were technology, and it was a tool that really helped the music industry as a whole, because what we did was we were digging in the crates. So we were discovering the music that our parents and our grandparents grew up on, right? And as you get older, that music ages out, and then you move into the disco age and you move into hip hop. But hip hop sampled those old soul, rock and roll, blues records, you name it. And it was actually music discovery and new music discovery for our generation. So not only did it teach us about our musical history, the stories behind those songs and the evolution of those songs, it also empowered and financed a lot of those original artists, because once sampling became so big, we had to pay the publishing to the original songwriters and producers. So they made millions of dollars, and it's almost like they had a second and third life with their musical catalog afterwards, right? So
Right.
now we fast forward into AI. AI is doing the same thing for us, and it's really assisting us, because I feel that with Naughty by Nature's catalog and our legacy, we can import our legacy catalog into AI, and perhaps it could regurgitate different ideas on what Naughty by Nature would sound like in 2025 and 2030. You know what I mean? It could
Right.
take those elements, those lyrics, it could speak to current times and help us translate what our music and sound can look like in a modern day fashion, modern form fashion.
Right.
So with that being said, and then I have another peer like Beanie Siegel from State Property. He's
Yeah.
a legendary
Legendary.
Philly rapper.
Yes.
He had health issues, and eventually it affected his voice. So I saw a clip of him saying, well, you know what, I could use AI to help bring back my original voice. So I can write current raps, but I can insert it into AI. And then because my voice isn't the original voice tone I had, I could put it into AI and
Right.
give a modern day lyric, but my old school voice instead of
Right.
my raspy voice. So I
Yes.
think that's very powerful. And with that being said, how do you think AI has enhanced or changed creativity in the entertainment industry?
Good question again. I think we're now on creativity 2.0, and it's very interesting. I think back to Drake, fake this, fake that. And so you remember when the DJ went from vinyl records to MP3, and the DJs that played vinyl would diss the ones that played MP3, which was the technology. It was the new wave of things, but there was a big friction between the DJs. Nobody talked about the party goers. Nobody talked about the consumers. The consumers at the club or purchasing didn't care whether it was vinyl or MP3. They were there for their good time, and that's a very important point to mention. Now, as we progress things, creativity. We've had songs that have sampled Drake and others that were not even Drake that fans actually love. So now that becomes a business. It's almost like saying, hey, I have the long form content, then I can also make a short form content. That becomes two pieces of content that I can now go out and monetize. With AI, I've taken the original song, I could chop it up, I can make the AI version. I've created multiple versions to monetize. That's a powerful thing right there. And so I think record labels, Hollywood is still figuring it out. We're at we're still in the typewriter stage of this new era that we're in. So the landscape is still being defined. I think who is first at it gets to make a stake in it, and that's why I'm really rooting for hip hop, Afro beats, dancehall, because there's such a creative force there. But not only to be creative in terms of the music, but leveraging the AI to create new frontiers.
Yes, and I think you know, I'll add to that when it comes to creativity with AI, things
Mhm.
that we're implementing ourselves. You know, right now, lyric videos are very popular because you don't have to shoot a full music video or have a full production on an expensive music video.
Yes,
Of
yes,
course, you could shoot a video on your iPhone or whatever that's cost efficient. But if you want to put a little more into your production, it can run you a few $1,000s. However, now you could take multiple songs and put them in AI and then have the AI spit out very creative visual lyric videos where, you know, the average fan or the end user could look at this content and be like, wow, that's really creative what's going on with the art and visuals behind it. And I'm learning the lyrics as well. So it's
yes.
twofold. It's very engaging. And as a creative standpoint, it's like it saves you a lot of money. And, you know, it definitely helps engage the fans further. So with that being said, you know, how does one, a commoner, learn more about AI? How much does it cost? And is it out of reach for the average consumer?
Wow, you've done your research, Vinny. I would say the first thing right now, we're in a changing of the guard in everything. Disruption is happening across the board. So when I look at education, I'd say if you're really serious about, you know, you want to make an inquiry, let's start with YouTube. It's free 99, so that means it's free. You can start there to get an overview, just an overview of who and what AI is, how to leverage it for your small business. And then I would recommend taking certified courses at a community, your local community college. You do not have to be at University of Michigan or any of these uh, have to have the academic play. You could actually learn on a grassroots level at your local community college. There's certification programs that are now starting to pop up everywhere, from Keokuk, Iowa, to Liberty City, Florida. They're everywhere. And I would say that that's start with YouTube, then make an investment by taking a certified course so that you can get training. And then the training that you get there helps you in your business. One of the big things that I would say with AI for small business owners is it allows you, or it creates efficiency on saving money, making money, managing money. That's probably one of the biggest things that you're going to get from AI for leveraging it as a small business owner. How to make money, how to manage money, and how to save money. Done.
Right. Well, you know, I realize that people are busy, you know, people are it's a challenge, you know, with your regular 9 to 5. Some people have supplemental jobs, and really the time consumption is at a premium right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
definitely believe that you don't have to be a scientist, you don't have to be a coder. However, you can surround yourself with people who are informed. And that's what I do. I surround myself with people in certain verticals. It's like, well, if I don't master it, let me affiliate myself, because you can always have a drinking buddy, a partying buddy. You can always find these people to do what's considered a lot of non-productive activities.
Yes.
However, if you
Yes.
take the time to seek and seek out people in these particular verticals who can help explain it to you, you know, in average layman terms, and inform you on how this technology works. Those are good people to be around. So I tend to surround myself with people like that who can inform me, who can kind of fast track me into the explanation, and then I do my research. That way I'm on point and I understand where the industry is going, where this technology is going. And then it makes me less paranoid, and it encouraged me to embrace that technology and, you know, move it forward and let it help me. So
Yes.
I'm one of the guys where I'm not so paranoid about technology. I'm looking at it as a prosthetic. You know what I mean? If your arm gets cut off, prosthetics are great and it'll give you your life back.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, it can enhance it. So, you know, I'm all about the technology. I'm definitely an advocate for AI and technology. And thanks to people like you, again, I surround myself with people who are in the mix, who are informed, and I encourage others, man, surround yourself with people who are paying attention to what's going on in the future. So with that being said, Brother Mike Johns, the Digital Mind State. This is all about tech with soul. I appreciate you. It's a very informative conversation. And I look forward to having more conversations like this and being more informed in what's going on in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much. You did your research, you asked the right questions, and I think this is an awesome addition for UNESCO and understanding AI for the common ears. So thank you so much for having me.
All right. No problem, brother. Peace.